Let's get rid of some books. I had to completely redo my shelf. They all have to stack where they're laying horizontally because I have absolutely no more room. So I decided it's time to get rid of some books that I no longer want or did not. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be unhauling all the books that I wanted to get off of my shelf whenever I redid them. Some of these I have read, some of these I have not, and some of these have just been on for so long on my shelves that I no longer have in reading them. So definitely stick around for that. Please, before we start, make sure that you go to my description box. My Pango Books account is on there. All of these are already going to be on there by the time this video comes up. So if you're following me on Pango Books account, you already know, you've already shopped, you love it. Like I said, I want to get rid of so many books. I have so many currently on my Pango Books account that I need to get rid of. So if there are multiple books that you are wanting, you can message me on there. Let me know that you are a subscriber. I will bundle them together. You don't have to pay for them. You just have to buy like 1 or 2 books depending on the quantity that you get off of my Amazon wish list, and we will call it good from there. But let's get into the video, but definitely check all of those links because I have so many good things going on with discount codes, Patreon, so much more. All right, so I'm not going to go through every book and give you a synopsis or give you an entire breakdown on why I'm getting rid of them. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now. I probably will say a few words about them or some of them, but for the most part, it's either I've read them and didn't enjoy them, they've been on my bookshelves for far too long, or I did decide instead of waiting until the year, I'm just getting rid of all the books that I had in my 24 books to read in 2024, or they're going to be unhauled. There are only 3 books that I actually kept out of the pile that I have since decided to read, and that is Hellbent, Ninth House, and The Three-Body Prop. So those 3 were safe. They're back on my shelves. I do intend to read those fairly soon, but the rest of them I'm getting rid of. So just wanted to put that preface out there for you. So we're not here for 40 or 50 minutes, for just like 35. I am going to be getting rid of Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. I'm also going to be getting rid of Legendborn as well as soon as October is over. I'm just waiting for my wrap up to happen. But I tried Legendborn. I did read it because it was on my fantasy bingo. I unfortunately am not a fan, so I want these to go to people that will act. I'm also getting rid of The Half Moon by Mary Beth Keane. I have since decided that I don't want to read this. I think it's more literary fiction, and it is about a bar, with didn't sound very cool. I am getting rid of To Carve a Fey Heart by Tessania Odette, which is book 1 in the Fair Isle trilogy, and this one is also signed by her. I ended up getting this in one of my book boxes as a special edition. I don't need a normal paperback, except whenever I've never even read the book. So I want this to go to someone. We're going to be getting rid of Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. Only reason why is I've heard that the series is not that good, so I don't need. The Hollow by Jessica Verde. This is something that's been on my shelf for years, and I couldn't even tell you what it's about, so I time. Bound by Honor by Rose Sarton, which is book 1, I think, in a series. Don't know what this is about. It was sent to me, and it is signed and everything, but it's for Taylor. So I don't know who Taylor is, so I'm going to be getting rid of it. I'm also going to be getting rid of Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. I originally wanted to start the Black Dagger Brotherhood, but have since decided it is way too long of a series, and I just don't want to start that. We have Sky Without Stars by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell, which is book 1 in, I guess, a series. I have had this since April of 2019, and I have no interest in even picking it up. I'm going to be getting rid of these library editions that I had gotten. One of them does have a stamp on them, but it is Storm Song, Witchmark, and Soulstar. I don't know anything about these. I got them for a few dollars, so I'm going to have the whole trilogy up there for like $2. I don't know anything about this, but feel free to pick them up. I am then also going to be getting rid of this other trilogy. I guess it's the Chemical Garden trilogy by Lauren DeStefano. So you have Wither, Fever, and Sever. Don't know what these are about. Have absolutely no idea. They've been on my shelf for absolutely so long that I think it's time that they go somewhere else. I have a few books by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I have 2 of the Lady Janes and 1 of the Lady book. I have My Plain Jane, My Lady Jane, and then My Contrary Mary. I wanted these, but I never gravitate towards them, and they say that they're a comical, fantastical, and romantical. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know that My Contrary Mary is, I think, about Mary Queen of Scots. It is. My Plain Jane is about Jane Eyre, and I've never read a Jane Eyre book. And then also My Lady Jane is about Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day. So they just need to go. We have Starling by Isabel Streichik. I'm not sure how to say that. Don't even know what the book's about. Looks like it deals with aliens. Who knows? I am going to be getting rid of, I think, yeah, this is my bookish box edition of Bonesmith by Nikki Powell Preto. I just don't have a desire to. I have heard people say that it resembles like the White Walkers from Game of Thrones, but I've never been gravitating towards this, so I think it is time to say goodbye. We have The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. The only thing I know about this is a married couple decides, I think, swing or have an open marriage. One of the two. I have no interest in reading that. We also have like a complete collection of the fairy games by Michelle Maddow. It's The Dark World, the complete series. No idea what it's about either, but it's the entire omnibus. I am getting rid of a couple Christina Lauren books because I wanted to read more books by Christina Lauren. It's not gravitating towards them, and that is Twice in a Blue Moon, and then also my favorite Half Night Stand. And I'm sure that these are good. I loved Love and Other Words by them, but I've never read another book by them, and I think if I want to, I'll just pick them up. I am going to be getting rid of Misconduct by Penelope Douglas. I had gotten this in a blind date with a book type thing, but again, I'm just not really in, I guess. I'm not really sure, but it's a contemporary love story, and I know it's by. The next 2 I had multiple copies of. I don't know why, but that is Filthy Rich Vampire and The Darkest Part of the Forest. Both of these are going to go because I don't need multiple copies. I am going to be getting rid of Hunt the Stars by Jessie Mihalik. I want to say that this came in a book box. This was like an early edition of a bookish box pick, so I am getting rid of it. I just never have gravitated towards it. I think it's time, but it has pretty edge. I am going to be getting rid of I think this is an Owl Crate edition of Foul Days by Genoveva Demova. I'm not really sure how to say it. I don't know anything about it. I know that it deals with monsters in a city. She's a witch and trying to survive. That's all I know. I am also going to be getting rid of, what edition is this? The bookish box edition of Garden of the Cursed by Katie Rose Poole. It's a stunning edition, but again, nothing I'm grabbing. So definitely pick it up if you. I am going to be getting rid of my Arcane Society duet of these, but it also will come with the pin, and I think I also have the art prints in here. I do. So that is Mate Finder and Devil by Leah Stone. They're stunning editions, but they are wolf shifter romances, and I just don't. I'm going to be getting rid of one of the Fairy Loot extra books that they did a couple years ago, and that is An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan. I don't know anything about it. I wanted to read it, but again, I'm not gravitating towards it, and it's a spellbinding reinterpretation of Romeo and Juliet filled with romance, magic, and Chinese mythology. It's not a very big paperback, but it's actually pretty stunning. It has foil and everything, so it just came as an extra one in one of their boxes. I am also going to be getting rid of a signed copy of The Queen's Assassin by Melissa Dela Cruz. I have since decided not to read really anything by her. I think there's a book that's coming out next year that I will try, but I think some of these are just like closed door, clean romances almost, and I'm not really into that, so hopefully someone take it away. A gorgeous cover, but I just don't gravitate towards it, and that is For All Time by Shanna Miles. I think this is kind of a reincarnation trope where they've been reincarnated for thousands of years and they keep finding each other, I believe. So I wanted to like this. This cover is just super stunning, but I'm just not grabbing. I am probably going to be donating these 3 copies because they are very used and not in good condition, but it is the first 3 book study series. I picked these up because I wanted to read them. However, I forgot that I had pre-ordered the study series from Bookish Box, and I just got a notice about ship. So I'm gonna go ahead and just donate, and someone can. I am getting rid of The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I know this is a well-loved book and author by so many people, but I have heard that it is in 3rd person, and I've also heard that it's like very dystopian sci-fi-y, and I'm just really, so we're just gonna cut her off. I'm also gonna be getting rid of The Never Tilting World by Ren Chepeko. I just never gravitate towards this, and I wanted to read it. It's about 2 sisters, I believe, that split the world in 2, and one of them lives in perpetual daylight, the other night, and it's kind of how they're going to save it. That's all that I know. Another Melissa Dela Cruz book, which is Cinder and Glass, which I am going to assume it is like Cinderella. And again, I heard that this is very YA, so I'm just going to cut my losses now because I'm not really in my YA era right now. I am going to be getting rid of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I don't know, just this book doesn't sound anything like something that I would want. It's about a boy who was raised by, I think, a graveyard keeper, something like that, and it's about bullying and everything. It doesn't entice her. I'm going to be getting rid of A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. I really wanted to read this book. I have seen so many people rave about it, but then I've also seen some negative reviews, which I'm not one of those people that get reviews and decides not to read a book. However, I heard that the ending isn't very good and doesn't really fit the story, so I don't want to take my time to read it whenever I'm not. I am also going to be getting rid of 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown. I wanted to read this, but then again, I found out that it is a war novel, and I'm just not really a World War II fiction reader. So I'm going to get rid of it. The final book that I'm going to be getting rid of is Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher. This is the one that has like the sprayed and stenciled edges. I have the Bookish Box edition, I believe, that came out, so I don't need 2 copies of this. I think this deals with a carnival. And I think it deals with like a romance in the carnival, I think. I'm not really sure, but if you want this beautiful edition and you weren't able to get it, pre-ordered it, then I got it up from Pango Books account. Alright everyone, those are all of the books that I am unhauling today. I know that it wasn't a whole lot, but I felt like my bookshelves not only needed a refresh so I can fit more books on my shelves, but also I wanted to revamp them, revitalize them, get rid of some books that either I've read and I didn't like, or books that I just have no interest in reading. So that way I have books on my TBR shelves that I do want to read, and books on my red shelves of ones that I've loved. So let me know in the comments below, are any of these books ones that I should keep? Are any of these ones based on, you know, my past taste that you've seen are books that I should keep? Let me know in the comment below. But if you don't want to leave me a comment, then leave me a cup emoji and just to let me know here. But just always make sure that you check my description box, because sometimes I will post discount codes and everything down there so you don't think. So until next time everyone, I will see you then. Bye.